Sneak on the beat.
The Babbling Heads podcast.
Yo, what's up? This is the Bass 187 and welcome to the Babbling Heads podcast.
I'm Dj Fingaz.
Charlie X to C.
Yo, and today in studio we have none other than Chris Berger, aka BURGZ, as well as his partner, the Beard.
What's
Yeah.
up, Cape Town?
What up?
So we met at the cipher.
Good up FM Cypher, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what's
yeah.
up.
Now we had nice times there.
Good vibes.
That's now the only thing that I miss of doing good up or working there.
We're
Was those-
talking about it with D this morning, actually, saying we need to find a way to bring back the Cypher, bro.
Yeah, but
Get a petition going or something like
I
that.
wonder will they do it during the day.
The Good Vibes show is maybe not the right platform for
Yeah.
it, but I mean, between the creative minds that we have in our
Mm.
social circle, I'm sure we can come up with something.
Right.
But I mean,
sorry to break you, but the cypher you're referring to, that's back in 2019?
The Good Up FM Thursday nights,
Yeah.
yeah, they used to have...
No, because I saw a YouTube clip with you guys and 3 Months Cup, etc.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's
So
a 2019
basically,
clip.
what happened, bro? It was the weirdest thing, man. I got invited to go to a battle rap sort of event,
Mm.
and via that event, got told I need to go and see Celeste Mitchell at
Yeah.
Good Up FM, and went there. And that was the start of a 2-year journey where myself and the Beard just went down every week with the camera. Because when I first went there, Reddy D sort of explained it to me. He's like, look, it's a up-and-coming type platform. So cats that don't have the opportunity, we try and open the platform to them. And I was like, bro, how many of these cats... Like, I went there one night and this guy told me a story that he had taken 2 taxis and a train and slept in Sea Point on the streets in order to be at the Cypher. He slept in Sea Point Wednesday night to be there for Thursday. And I sat listening to this guy's story and I was like, damn, bruh. I'm out here complaining about having to leave work and like get petrol and like this little shit things that you have to solve. And this cat has taken 3 means of transport and slept on the street just for that moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, he could go home and tell his friends that he rapped on Good Up FM, but half of them might not believe him. And so we thought, like, what can we do to add value to that man's 3 modes of transport and a night on the street? I can make a video for you. That's not that hard. And then at least you've got something that you can take to the homies and be like, I was on Good Up FM. Here's the footage of me rapping, you know? And that's kind of where Mother City Lumberjack started, was just a way to help other cats that were like me, lost and not really knowing what to do with the skill set, but knowing that you can rap a little bit. Yeah.
No, that's dope. But I was just Celeste is planning to do another cycle. But I think people shouldn't just wait on other people to do it, man. I think
100%. That's what I'm saying.
it doesn't have to be a major platform. I mean, we can create a new one, man.
I've been even thinking, dude, a guy like yourself, or a team like yourselves, a team like us, if we were to say, guys, let's put 2 or 3 weeks of marketing into this and host an event in a parking lot, for fuck's sake. It doesn't matter where. But the first one will be the catalyst of many more. Because when other people start to see it, they'll be like, hey, I can add this value or I can add that value. But I think the intent needs to be pure.
Yeah.
People that started need to say, we're doing this just for the event, not for, hey, we want to get money afterwards. That'll all come at some point.
I'm gonna give you an idea after the podcast.
Oh, dope.
In that line.
Okay.
Let's start off with giving us a background as to where you started, how you fell in love with hip hop, with music in general, and
Sure.
just a proper background.
Wow, man. So I moved. My parents got divorced when I was quite young, and I moved to West Beach in Table View. And in those days, West Beach was a sand dune with like 3 complexes, I think. And the complex we moved into, there was a gentleman staying there. His name was Mr. Edwards to me, but his 2 sons, Ralton and Aldrich, they were actually a family from Mitchell's Plain. And his father had rented this apartment because most of his work was in West Beach.
Yeah.
And so they would spend Monday to Friday there and then go homes on weekends. And Ralton was about 19 or 20. I was about 13, I think. But quite an old kid. myself.
Soul, yeah.
Old soul. And he just took me under his wing, bro. And the next thing I was listening to Machiavelli and Wu-Tang Clan and all this stuff. My mom's like, what is happening to this kid? You know?
Bad influence.
And yeah, I mean, I'd always enjoyed poetry as a kid. And I guess hip-hop gave me that sort of easily accessible avenue to explore that. Because it's like, poetry tends to have social connotations to it that, you know, a rugby playing guy like myself might not be 100% comfortable going up on stage and reading a poem about my vulnerabilities. But change that into me dropping a verse about my vulnerabilities using alter egos and things like that. All of a sudden that becomes acceptable now. It's like, wow, what a dope MC. Not what a sucker ass poet kind of thing. You know? And
That's
so
your art, sir.
the art of exploring rapping has been going on for a long time, but it's only about 3-4 years ago, dude. One of my friends just said to me, he's like, I've had enough of you rapping in the garage to me now. He's like, you need to show other people. And I was like, I physically couldn't do it. Like, I'd get like scared of it. Like, I don't know why I always had this line between myself as a professional person, a career person, and then blurring this line with this love for hip hop. And I always thought that the professional people would never see the other side correctly. And so I hid it in a way. And going to Good Hope FM and rapping in front of Reddy D and having Reddy D stop fucking working on the stuff and turn and just sit and watch me rap. Eye contact. Do you know what I mean? Like that moment for me, I stood there and he was looking at me and I was like, I've got him. Do you know what I mean? Like that moment where you've got someone's full attention. And then it dawned on me. I was like, dude, I can do this. Like, if I can have him stop doing his professional job for a moment.
The fun thing about radio is you had that moment now with him, but you don't realize that you're actually having that moment with so many people. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't. It gives you that comfort of it's just me and him now. But can't you? Fucking, I realized that at UCT Radio. I thought it was just me and this bra, like playing. I don't know whose show it was, and I heard like this guy read out like somebody from Canada, like. But I was younger then, man. I was like, okay, so this is how this fucking just concentrate on your thing, and the rest will make a way. Man. You know what I'm saying? The beard though. Let's talk about it. He's always the guy in the background, filming everything. That's how I know him. So give us your. How did you meet him, and how did you get to be his camera guy, and what else do you?
It's
the
like
mystique.
It's such a crazy story. Like it was Stella Park, Stella Cove,
Stella
Montague Gardens. GT Graphics, who I was working, was doing sort of like a car day, and I'd done these caricatures and printed them out because it was a vinyl company. And this guy comes traipsing up, starts chatting. He says, "I'm going to be right back," and he walks away. He comes back with a beer. I was just like, "Excuse me." Ever since then, bro, it's just been, we've been like the best of mates. And then he told me about Mother City Lumberjacks, put a logo together, put a face to it, and then we started recording, dude. We both decided just every Thursday go down, come hell or high water, record it, put it online.
Yeah, there were some days, I'm not lying to you, bro, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I look at him, I'm like, bro, have you got money? He's like, no. I'm like, bro, I got no money, bro. Don't know what's going to happen. Somehow by 5 o'clock, something happens. I'll land up with $200. I'm like, cool, bro, we got petrol. And we go through to Good Hope FM. And at the time, like, my business was going through some rough shit. And so all your resources, you try and just keep there, you know. And literally, bro, like, I had 2 days of food in the cupboard, no petrol in the fuel tank, and then Thursday comes and I'm like, I don't care if we don't eat dinner tonight, but we will go to the cypher because cats sleep on the street, bro. Homies are taking 3 modes of transport. I just keep telling myself that story. Had a long day at work, I don't feel like going. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You just get there.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I noticed like on your video, you have a lot of tattoos. Or you had a tattoo done on the one track.
I had Oracle for that the track name put on my leg, but I've got a few,
So does your tattoo tie in like with your music, or are they a reflection of your artistry?
Bro, so my arm is a representation of how I see the world. My leg is like a like a totem pole to the people that have influenced me the most. And it's not necessarily like I've got Damian Marley on the front of my shin, and so many of my mates who are like hardcore hip-hop heads and stuff, they're like, why do you have Damian Marley on your leg? Thought you're supposed to be some kind of rapper or something. And I'm like, you know, what a person represents to you and what a person represents to me is not necessarily reducible to words. It's not like I can just put that into an idea for you, but Damian Marley to me represents somebody that took a legacy that his father built and he embraced it with his own culture. He didn't do what Ziggy did or what some of the other cats tried to be Bob Marley. Damian Marley took the energy his father gave him and he made it his own. And to me, that process of taking a gift that someone's giving and honoring it enough to do what's right with it, not to try and imitate it. You know, because imitation, people say imitation is the highest form of flattery, but I think it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you as an artist should know that imitating, like paying homage to somebody and imitating somebody are two different things. And I feel like Damian really cemented for me what it means to take a gift, i.e. I'm a white guy. The gift in my scenario is hip-hop music. What I do with that music matters to me. I don't just want to imitate something or make like, oh, I'm the next Eminem or some crap like that. I have none of those ideas about this, dude. This is a beautiful process of me being able to express something creative and holding in the highest regard people that showed me that process. So I got Damian on the front, Black Thought on the left, Method Man on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And huh?
Actually, want to see it when we're done.
No problem, yeah.
Drop his drawers, boy.
Bro, I mean, again, like a lot of people say to me, why is Black Thought on your leg? And I'm like, dude, if you don't know the answer to that question, then don't ever ask me a question about hip-hop again. Because Black Thought to me, bro, like there's a lot of cute MCs out there. There's a lot of people that can rap cool words and stuff. But hands down, dude, anybody listening to this podcast, hit me up, bro, if you got a better MC than Black Thought, because you're lying to yourself and your mom, and she's disappointed.
Chicky, your sound it's different from any other Cape Town MC that I can, you know what I'm saying? Even the visuals. Tell us, how did that, especially this song, how did that come about? And it's the sound and the visuals, it matches up, man.
Yes.
Where did that happen? How did it happen?
So this is actually a crazy story, but my birthday was on the 6th of September, and on the 9th of September, I got told that that video was being shot, and there it is.
Shit.
So
the second.
So
let's go.
My mate who did all my tattoos on my leg, that's his favorite song that I've ever done. It's actually a very old song, dude. And I always send him all my work, and he's like my sounding board, i.e. like the beard as well, you know. I like to get people that will tell me the truth. They're like, bro, this sounds like shit. You know, some people are like, yo, it's so cool, man, because they just want to talk to you. It's like, no, I want people that are going to say, dude, that doesn't sound right, or doesn't sound like you, or whatever. Sorry to interrupt you. So Rudy told me about the video as a birthday present. He's like, listen, another guy that I tattoo is Mark Anthony Duckett, who started Pronoia Africa. He also started Scrambles for Money Rap League and like a whole bunch, like in terms of a hip hop head, like he's ingrained in what's happening, man. And he's worked with a lot of cool people. And Rudy tattooed him in exchange for doing a video for me. And so Rudy phones me up and he's like, pull up, man, come have a drink with us. And when I got there, there's this guy sitting at the table and he's like, so dude, listen, man, we're shooting the video. It's for your birthday, but I'm choosing the song. And I'm like, okay, cool. Bro, the following week, we were on set. Like these guys, like my mate and Mark Anthony Duckett from Pronoia pulled this whole idea together. They sat, bro, like I went to hear the pitch and this guy, Mark, was rapping the words to my song, bro. Dude, like I had tears in my eyes, bro. Like, and they were talking to me and I was like, dude, I didn't even know what to say to you guys right now, man. I'm just like overwhelmed to the point of...
It makes a lot of sense, dude, because you can see that, brah, he closed his eyes, he listened to the track, and okay, I'm a visual guy. Let me paint the picture.
Look,
but let's not talk about
it. Let me interject there. Like I get the feeling, there's no better feeling, like you rap your own music, right? So there's no better feeling than seeing someone else rap your music word for word. There is no better feeling like, damn.
It was over for me after that. I'm like, I don't care if I never become famous. A dude that loves this music and does this for a living is busy rapping my shit.
Yeah.
I'm done.
You said the bride does your tattoos. His name is Rudy, right?
Rudy Sauer.
So like I think from what I can recall from the videos, like black sheep tattoos.
Yes, but
so
he's in the video. The guy with the goatee and the face tattoos, that's Rudy.
Cool. So let's just give the guy a shout out. So people, if you want to get some real cool tattoos for some people that are down with the culture, etc.
For real.
Hit up Black Sheep Tattoos.
They got a shop in Tableview. They got a shop up in Josie.
Yeah. So I'll just play the video so they can see the video. Okay. Okay.
I deliver in quotes. Imagery like calligraphy is written in vote. That's why I always be keeping it dope. Allegiance to gamma frequencies that seem to peak in my throat. And leaking to the messages are spoken by ghosts. I'm peeking over both shoulders, keep the notes ice. So the notions in the folder get delivered cold and precise. Holding on with both hands when playing with your life. Ultimate sacrifice, ultimate price. See, I don't see clowns trying to rebound with the jokes. When my left hand hit the dead man, be the next man that he woke. See the hand left, now the man dead, so the next man can approach. You ain't peeping the schemes that I'll be feeding you, bro. I'll be weaving into your dreams you won't immediately know. But those demons will come and speak to you eventually, though. Lumberjack on horseback in a black hoodie. Couldn't be, but in fact could he? Surely they're gonna catch you when bully pack, fully jacked on the back of a black armor-plated woolly. Mammoth with two hammers is made of carved granite, could have it. Not to mention that my bar's savage. Large capacity armed cannons with card activation panels made for Armageddon action. When the bars be getting hacked in, it's collision course reactions. When the pigeon toe contractions get to lipping over yapping, I'll be shipping like a captain the way I'm harboring reactions. Living my life on the winds and change. Take an oracle to see me ride. Competition out of breath, I'm trying to catch my vibe. They say I'm living a lie, but I'm the king of the pride. Living my life alone, the winds and change. Take an oracle to see me ride. Competition out of breath, I'm trying to catch my vibe. They say I'm living a lie, but I'm the king of the pride. Like time travelers to travel through time. The mind traveler could travel through minds. You find for traveling, then travel through mind. The rite of passage in a practical time. So if you happen to be adaptable in rapid decline, sanctimonious bad grapes, the black and the wine, I'm plucking straight off the vine. Some kind of ancient advice that only true believers can find. I never believed in sequels, cause I do it right the first time. Persecution in the name of this art. If Noah did it again, I'll be amongst the greats on this arc. You try to fake your remarks, your hands I hate what you are. So tell the truth, I'm the reason you've been working as hard. I'm trying to further you. Heard you with this foolish facade. My constitution, Rubik's Cube, and kinda lucrative, dog. Translucent with the blueprint like I'm tutoring snobs. I'm kinda vicious with the issues, man. Useless and large. I'm through with bars you couldn't duplicate if you were from Mars. Fueling terrorism at large. Cause I'll sever your vocal cords and send a clip to your mom. I'm a uranium landscape fully equipped with the bombs. Anti-establishment curriculum gone. Predict the present moment like a victory song. Predictive when I'm curdling this verse in my palm. Yo, it's a turbulent excursion trying to murk on the dawn. I ain't wanting for nada. You catch your case and stigmata and start exhibiting the features of your faith in my product. I'm hazardous with the text and the spars. Ambidextrous and I'm blessed with the bars. Said I ain't dressing the part. I came correct from the start. I'm the missing link between mankind and our life in the stars. A fully calibrated mirage. Managing your perspective like a picture of God. Living my life on the winds and change. Take an oracle to see me ride. Competition out of breath, I'm trying to catch vibe. They say I'm living a lie, but I'm the king of the pride. Living my life alone, the winds of change. Taking Oracle to see me ride. Competition out of breath, I'm trying to catch my vibe. They say I'm living a lie, but I'm the king of the pride.
The bird.
Living my life alone, the winds of change. Taking Oracle to see me
Nice, salute.
Damn. That was dope. That was
Track,
dope.
no?
That was dope. That was dope.
Dude, that beat, man, Under Siege. How did you meet him? How did he come? What did you tell him? Like,
Bro, so listen, man, you asking me all the dope shit. So, Under Siege is CJ. My friend I was 17 and he was 15 when we met each other.
oh, okay. You
And-
can hear it actually, dude.
Bro, he started making beats on some fucking Fruity Loops or one of these systems from back in the day, dude. It was the most horrendous beats you've ever heard, bro. And he used to make these beats and bring them to me. He's like, dude, I made this dope beat. And I'd be like, oh, so badly want to say something good, but like, I don't know what to say, bro.
Like the
But,
hi-hats.
you know, youthful indiscretions, shall we say, bro. We all got into a little bit of messy stuff when we were younger. And the homie actually landed up, on the dark side of the moon for a while. But he's like 14 years teetotal, bro.
Yeah.
Like he gets high on music, for real. And dude, I could play you guys some beats after this podcast, dude. Like some new stuff that I'm working on. The evolution that this guy has gone through is fearful. Like it makes me afraid. I know him, bro. And it's like, how does this happen to you? Like I was here 3 weeks ago. And like every time the step up is just, and we feed off each other massively, bro.
Yeah.
So like he'll make a beat and then I'm like, oh, I've got to write something fire now, bro. And then I'll write something fire and he's like, fuck, my beat sucks. I've got to make a better beat now. And so we just keep feeding off each other, dude. And the process has been beautiful, man. I mean,
Check, if I had to close my eyes, no, and this is just my personal preference, I'm not a hip-hop aficionado, but if I had to close my eyes and listen to this track, I would say, fuck, this reminds me of Jedi Mind Tricks. Has there been any influence, like Funny Paz-wise? I know you mentioned Method Man, etc.
Vinny's definitely, like, to me, Jedi Mind Tricks, the whole horrorcore rap scene and stuff, I've always appreciated the art form of rap, but some subject matter for me just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So Jedi Mind Tricks, one of those things where some of their stuff I love and other stuff I'm just like, what was happening to you when you were small? Like
fluoride in the water.
Literally.
Yeah.
But again, like I'm an appreciator of art, and so sometimes somebody will paint you a picture of the Battle of Blood River.
Yeah.
And you go and look at that picture expecting to find harmony and peace. You'll never get it from that picture because that wasn't the intent behind it. And so I'm a deep enough person to look at the intent behind the art rather than just the art and say, okay, well, this is cuck. But some stuff isn't for me, definitely. And I'm comfortable to say that.
Nah, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, that's dope.
But my most influentials, if while we're on the topic, bro. So guys like Cannabis, Mos Def, Pharaoh Monch, most of the Wu-Tang Clan, like some guys, you know, You God, not really my style. But for the most part, I like MCs that say stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like MCs that rhyme stuff, if that makes sense.
100% sense.
Yeah.
Where you get the guys just focus on the gymnastics of it.
The scheme.
It's dope.
It's super dope.
But you can't really get to some. Sorry about that. You can't get to somebody's heart with that, man.
Yeah.
And it's one of the criticisms that Eminem goes through.
Yes.
Where it sounds.
It's absolutely fire.
But for some people, it might be, dude, you're not giving me that.
Yes.
You're not gonna make me cry or
Yeah,
get
nothing
me in
to
my
hang
feeling.
on. Yeah, yeah.
No, you-
Okay, yes. Yeah. If you're looking at the industry, I mean, and some of the names you just mentioned, like Cannabis, I mean, the likes of Papoose, those guys were like lauded as being the fucking next up and coming, but never quite broke it out into the mainstream media. So as a hip hop artist in Cape Town, how do you find the current industry as being sustainable for survival as an artist alone? You have your 9 to 5, etc., your professional career, but do you think you'd ever be able to go out and do this full time, just doing hip hop?
Me personally, I don't know if that's the pursuit. Like, I don't necessarily do this with a goal in mind that one day I'm going to feed my family doing this. Like, I literally try and keep my intent as pure as possible. I just want to spit bars, bro. I want dope beats. I want to hang out with other guys that like dope beats and want to spit bars. And if you got, like, if people get into these conversations about color and race and creed and, you know, bro, I got no time for that shit. For real. Like, no time. Hip-hop has got no time for that shit. And if you're picking those pieces of hip-hop up, then you're in the wrong lane, bro. For real. But to say that there is a music industry to speak of in Cape Town, I wouldn't necessarily even use that word. Bro. I think there's a lot of people that talk a lot of shit. And I think there's some people that put in work, and those people you'll see. Because they're doing things and they got posters up and they got events happening and stuff, and it's not because DJ Easy or DJ Fingaz or anybody opened the door for them. The cats that I know that are working is because they don't sleep. They work their day job, they go in the car, they get dressed in the car on the way to the event, they do the event, then they go to the next event and then go home 1 o'clock in the morning, get into bed, and then 6 o'clock in the morning up again. That's the hustle. That's what a real person that's interested in success would do. But my personal experience of the local artists in our wonderful city is that there's a lot of griping and moaning and not a lot of work, really.
I definitely agree with you there. I definitely agree.
So just to follow up on that question, any hip-hop brand or, I would say, entity within the entertainment sphere relies on solid partnerships. So tell me how you came about. We already discussed how you met Beard and how you met your producer. But how do you feel that you as a crew, how do you feel that your synergy works together in order to get your message across? Because it's not just putting your music out. As you said, you've created platforms for others. So how's that journey been thus far, and where do you see it going?
Well, bro, like, can I answer this question from two sides? So, like, as an artist, I don't feel that there's much love shown to artists in Cape Town, for real. Like, out of all the people that I know that have got profile, I can count on one hand the number of them that shared my video, one of them sitting opposite you, right? But I don't take that personally. I'm not like, oh, nobody shares my shit. Like, right now, after this podcast, I'm going to show you the conversation I'm busy having with Busta Rhymes about being on a mixtape. So, like, I don't feel shit about what local people think of my stuff, or, like, I don't get invested in that because I didn't make it for that. I made it to enjoy it, and, like, if you like it, then I'll talk to you about it.
By the way, that's why I shared it, not just because I know you did. I shared it because it was fucking dope, dude.
Bro, you know that was the most, like, you put such a smile on my face, dude, for the whole day. Like, I was just so... But
I get a lot of likes and whatever on my Facebook page is dead.
To me, I don't care if nobody looks at your Facebook page. To me, it's a moment of honor between two men that are looking at something and that they say, I'm comfortable to say that this is dope, because it is. Not because we brass or anything like that. The problem I've got with people in Cape Town specifically, like, I got cats in Joburg that are sharing my shit crazy. Bro, Celeste Mitchell, all these people that are, like, talking about stuff, saying, and I'm not picking on Celeste, so please don't take it like that, Celeste. But you've also been talking to me about doing stuff and not doing anything. And that's what the experience that I get, is that people talk a lot of shit. But when it comes down to where the rubber hits the road, there's not a lot of support. There's not a lot of people that are putting their hands in their pockets and saying, I'll even take my phone out and send you a number for somebody that can help you. Not take my wallet out and pay for something for you, or whatever the case is. So Mother City Lumberjacks only shared my video once because I only share anyone else's video once. And so I didn't even give my own video preferential treatment on my own platform, because that's not what the platform's about. It's about showing Cape Townian appreciators of music and people that make music that it's okay for somebody to say your stuff is good and share it with other people, and create a culture of awareness and love for music, rather than, like, I'm not going to share his song in case my fans like it more than my song.
No, it makes a lot of sense, dude.
Check it, I'm not trying to score any brownie points or trying to score some extra cheese spread. Just show the viewers there, like, Beard produces some dope cheese spread. We've heard it from good authorities that
I'll give him some.
This is the ultimate. Hell no.
Giving you
Hell
some.
no.
Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Must
Hell
have
no.
a small teaspoon somewhere.
But check it
Put him out.
If you don't have a teaspoon in the fingers,
You know what?
That's
I honestly think this is so unfair, because there's only two.
That's why I shouldn't share it.
We go
It's
off.
going to be unfair.
We go off. But yeah, check it. What's your diary looking like for the 28th of November?
I'm yours, bro.
Another African hip hop in Daba?
I'm there, bro.
We can do something.
Likewise.
I'm down.
Check here your work on the Takeover album.
Yes.
Tell us how did that come about with the chef and
So, Half the Chef, I just need to put this all together quickly. How did he come onto the radar? I want to say that Easy put us in contact with the intention of working on something else. And then I went to, or I'd been meaning to go and see Hef or link up with him, and lockdown and all these things were holding us back. And then I had some time off 1 week. I had a project that was supposed to start and it didn't start for weeks. So I had a Monday to Friday to do whatever I wanted. I was like, man, let me just hit this guy up and see if he's around. And I went through to his place in Ottery, hung out in the studio, but he played me a few beats. I spit some stuff, and then he was like, listen, guy, you're going on my next album. I was like, cool. Sounds good. He played me a beat. I think 2 days later, I sent him some verses that I'd written, and he was like, when can you come record? Yeah, I recorded it, and it came out pretty dope, dude. I won't lie, man. It's a good track. Good track.
I haven't listened to any of the tracks though. Just know he's sorry guys, keep on doing that. He had his whole marketing thing.
Yes,
It was quite visible. Everybody could see that move.
Look, again, I'd say there's a guy that's put his hand in his own pocket, and he's put together something that represents Cape Town. It's got an organic feel about it, and it's not one of these like. It's not a cloud chase.
Yeah.
You know, like some people will drop 200, 300, 400 grand on a cloud chase. You know what I mean? This guy went and put money in his pocket, and he got some local artists together, and he put an album out that to me has a completeness to it. It's a whole product.
Yeah.
You know? And it's nice for me to see that people are doing that. Because at the end of the day, dude, if we don't build a culture here, man, like, if you say as an artist, I want events to go and perform at, an event doesn't attract a crowd. Like, people attract a crowd. Marketing attracts a crowd. A culture attracts a crowd. Like me and you and these guys talking about something and other people listening to it, that creates culture. And from culture comes events. From culture comes the ability to say, bro, 5 of Cape Town's top DJs are getting together at Kirstenbosch and hosting an all-day cypher. Do you know what I mean? And all of a sudden there's 30,000 people at Kirstenbosch fighting for parking, and it's going off, and stuff like that can't happen if all the fucking arguments on Facebook are about the music industry and it doesn't do anything from... Okay, cool. Well, it doesn't know that you exist because it is an inanimate object. It's dead. It's that head in the wall. That's the music industry. Can't know you. So unless you're going to put work in and actually positively influence the direction of the fucking river...
there's way too much negativity out there.
Go away.
Yeah, like I completely agree with you. Like I completely agree with you. One, because like what you said was people attract the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think youngsters can charge like 50 to 100K just for one performance?
Right.
Like why? Because they know he's gonna like attract like 20,000 people just to come see him.
Right.
So you as an so-called newbie, what's your crowd that you're gonna bring? And you get mad because you're not on the bill. Why?
Right.
Why? You're not making the moves. You're not putting in that extra hours. You know, like
You can't charge the same rate as
you
youngster.
can't charge the same rate as youngster because that man put in the hours. That's why he's so famous.
The years.
He put in the years. Like I also say that I would rather drop one dope track. Like where I feel like no, like you and your buddy going back and forth. Like we're always keeping each other on top. Like, you know, I would rather drop one dope track every 3 months than I would release like fucking 20 tracks in 3 months that's all shitty.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I actually I put my mind, my body and my soul into one track that's gonna be fucking dope. Instead of just like let's be real, man. Most of the fucking music in Cape Town are shitty. So why are we still complaining about the industry or an inanimate object? Why are we still complaining?
Why?
Don't
worry, we'll wait.
Because the thing is also there's the perception that there's so much gatekeepers, etc. It's like maybe up in Joburg, there's there's where money is at. There's where you can eke out the existence as an MC full time. But at the end of the day, it's like the work you put in. And Joburg, the difference what Cape Town is very laid back, relaxed, expects everything to come to them.
Yeah.
Joburg, you have to be out hustling, you have to be out fucking lying your teeth off, like to get into those spheres and spaces.
I actually have to disagree with you there, Shaq, because I don't think the money is in Joburg. The money is in Cape Town. But just that there is no support, man. There is no drive, there is no hunger. Like there's just a handful of hunger. That's why you say in Joburg you have to hustle hard. Name a couple of rappers in Cape Town that hustles hard. Like Joburg's
Again, don't worry, we'll wait.
Exactly. So it's not like there isn't money in Cape Town. It's because look at how youngster made a reputation in Cape Town.
But I mean, I know youngster from 2008 competing at the African Hip Hop in Durban in the battles.
Exactly.
I mean, he was there. Riyadh was there.
Yeah.
He did the work. He hustled when we had when we had Young Guru down here. He means a less hustle to try and get in with Jay-Z's producers. But at the end of the day, he did what he had to do in order to uplift himself. And the funny thing is, he took the approach in terms of that's why my question to you was, so that we can educate other MCs out there. Your team is very important. Knowing your vision, knowing what you're going to do, knowing you're going to put out quality stuff. Youngster put out, 20 odd mixtapes, but he did it and he did it for free.
Yeah.
Because his mission was to get it on every phone, on every device.
You know what the difference is with
MP3s, etc.
He converted people that wasn't really into local hip hop into local fans.
Yeah.
This is how realistic I am. I'm not really worried of how many views I get on the podcast, because my mind is, maybe a podcast shouldn't be that, the numbers shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And I think it like this. If I put in not just the work, if my product is sellable and palatable for a bigger crowd, it will become that, man. And until that, then it won't, man. So the way I see it with youngster, he looked, if I do this, I'll get more people to like me. And he worked on his image also, man. And it continuously, his image is always important, how he raps and whatever, the clothes he wears. And he's like, he becomes the guy you want to know, man. Yeah. You know, like, he's the cool guy. And I think rappers, they focus mostly on the way they spit and not what they say or stuff like that we spoke about. And then at the same time, they want to be famous, man. So you must...
You have to balance all.
Balance it. Not really. It's probably dumbed down if you want to do it that way, man. Yeah. Or you can just say, dude, I'm going to do it my way and I'm going to enjoy myself. So...
Well, I could draw you an interesting conclusion here. The way that I make my music, I will never ever allow it to become manufactured. Yeah. So it must come out. So to me, I put on a beat, and if it doesn't speak to me, skip the fucking beat. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care if this is your latest, greatest, best beat that's going to be a hit #1. When it came in my ear, nothing came out yet. Moving on. And the approach is that as soon as you look at the revenue it will generate before the art has been created, you're manufacturing. You're not making art now. You're in the process of creating products. And I would love to, in my other business, perhaps create products, but in this specific mode of my life, the focus being on the expression is 100% of importance to me. There's nothing else that matters.
I can so relate to it, because I can relate to this podcast, no? It is cool to get like famous people on. Sure. Like I tried youngster, okay? But I don't want him on the podcast just because he's famous. Right. I actually want to have a conversation with him. Right. Like I will. That's the one guest. Like I would have a guest on that talks about aliens. Yes. I know that's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Sure. But I would like to have a conversation with him, because that's going to give you the product. Because a podcast, the product is a conversation like what we're having now, a deep conversation. If you can't have that even with a guy that's going to give you millions of views, then you failed. Right. Because it's going to be empty. Oh, yeah, he was on the podcast. Quiet. Yeah. We got the likes. We got the views.
We got the video. But not the interaction. Exactly. The real fabric of that interaction.
And the connection itself.
Yeah, because that's what I love about podcasts. I love watching podcasts because I want to see that connection. Like my favorite is one of my favorites is Tyson Hotbox.
Yes,
Hotboxing
Hotboxing with Tyson.
Dude, that
yeah.
is so dope, dude.
Yeah.
But he drives the guy to have a conversation with him. Man.
Yes.
Like he had Eminem on.
Yeah.
The bra wants to open up and then he just guards him. And that's why I can't. Eminem is dope, but he doesn't give too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
Anyway.
that's part of his whole allure is the enigma that is
True.
Eminem.
True, yeah.
Um,
Nah, I hear you.
And I think part of it is perhaps the side of him that doesn't enjoy the media, but I think another part of it is that they've realized that this angle works. Keep him as an enigma, you know, as an oracle, so to speak. He's like a guy that only Drake can really speak to him directly.
Yeah.
Everybody else just gets fucking chopped up through the cheese grater when they go and speak there.
Talking about
I get
cheese.
excited when I express myself, by the way.
Yeah, don't worry. We know what it is, man.
Especially as a beer and isn't it?
We know what it is.
So Kevin, we've been neglecting the Paul Bunyan in the room here.
Oh yeah. Oh, sure, man.
Tell me, Beard,
Yeah.
how do you come about the concept? I mean, you mentioned you and your mom do
Yeah, look,
production.
my mum's one of those Afrikaans Tonnies.
Yeah.
And she loves to bake, she loves to cook,
Yeah.
and make marmalades and stuff. BURGZ devours that stuff at a rate of knots, bro. So
You got a marmalade without scones, though.
you make out.
Like, I have never had marmalade ever in my life. I want to taste that shit, like, so badly, but I don't.
It's an acquired taste. It's a bit bitter. It's a jam.
It
but
is
it's
acquired,
Yeah. But it's
It's
nice.
not for everyone, bro.
Yeah.
But go on. Sorry.
So I was walking home from school as a kid, and my mum and dad had come down because I was in Rondebosch,
Yeah.
staying with my aunt and my gran, and my gran says there's some cheese spread that your mum made. I was like, excuse me, what are you talking about? There's only one cheese spread, that's Melrose, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melrose.
So I have a look at the stuff and I'm like, you okay? And then, after that it was tickets. It was like Fritos on toast with a cheese spread, dude.
Yeah.
That was the bomb every lunch. Man. And then I started working for a company that I was with Chris. And I started making this stuff and then decided, let's see if I can sell this stuff.
Yeah.
And the Oaks went nuts for it. So I started making labels and stuff and then refining the actual spread, like trying flavors, the hot flavors, the biltong. And then I use a special sort of thing at the end to blend it and make it really nice and smooth. I gave some to my mum and she just said, "It's beter as mine."
Oh, that's like the ultimate like stamp of approval.
Absolutely. So, I mean, there's the chili cheese, which is jalapenos.
I was just going to ask, is the jalapeno on his teeth?
I'll tell you how it is. No,
And then
Dis jy gaan op jou moer kry.
I'll maybe write a song. About it.
Just scratch on it.
there's a tomato cheese that I've made. Dude, it's like a warm, fuzzy feeling inside when you've had that. Like, because I was trying to make it, like, figuring out, like, what's the ultimate South African, like, if you had a braai, dude, you just put the cheese spread on. You can put extra tomato on if you schmack. Put it on the grill, dude. And I thought, tomatoes. So there's this company in Takai that makes this organic tomato spice. So I'm like, let me give it a batch, or a bash. And 70 rand a little bottle, like this big.
Yeah.
So I'm using this stuff and I'm like, yo, what? It's like I've had tomato soup now, but I'm eating cheese spread. I was like, no, this is not right. So I found sun-dried tomatoes, dude.
Yeah.
You put that oil with the butter, just let it cook.
Yeah.
Then you put everything in, blitz about 4 up, dude. It's on point, man. So
You try like with pepper juice also, like mixing that in? Or?
I haven't tried that yet, no. I haven't tried that. But these are pretty on point. I used to have 6 or 7 flavors, and I was just like, it's too much. So I've narrowed it down to 4, and I'm putting them in dip jars because then you can clean it out properly.
Yeah. Lekkertjes. We look forward to that. Yay! But you mentioned your mom is also making the peanut butter cookies. What does the range consist of besides the cheese spreads?
Well, there's...
Oh, now there's trouble coming.
I got the mantle.
No, she does strawberry cheesecake.
Yeah.
The peanut butter, which is like that's cookie cane. I call it that, cookie cane. It's literally like
this.
I was up in Joburg and I brought some back and I was sold to a couple of mates at work. And the guys come the next day. They're like, bro, I opened a pack and I just had one and I smashed the entire bag. And I said, bro, I almost warned you. You don't listen to me, so
My wife, when we open one of those, she takes half a stack out and hides it away. Because I start at the top of the pile and I just work my way down the pile, bro.
There you go. Pass it around.
Grab some of
This is
Stuff
not,
is
it's
too
not puff
dangerous.
puff pass, this is munch munch pass.
Oh, the whole pack is for me. Thank you. Thank you.
No, that's dope. That's dope.
Enjoy borrow.
So, the Beard's actually one of these kinds of dudes, bro. He doesn't really like talk about himself much, but then I've known him now like 6 years, and I still find out stuff about him. Like the man can pencil sketch you, bro, so flippin' well. You could use it as an ID photo.
I saw his work.
Yeah.
Cycle.
And people, cars, inanimate objects, whatever. You can just draw it exactly how it is. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Graphic design, logo design, cheese spread, biscuits. Bro, like he can make half the stuff his mom makes as well. He's just realized that it's less effort if he just phones his mom and he's like, I'm coming home this weekend.
I think that's the nature of a creative. It's like you're not just limited to one scope or one field.
And that explorative process is so rewarding, right? Sometimes you just want to, even if you mess up a few times, to me, I don't have that same view of failure that a lot of people have, like where they're like, oh no, I didn't get it right the first time. To me, like if I don't get it right, that's almost like a challenge. It's like, oh, is it? You think you've got me now? Wait.
Yeah, it's a wrong attitude to have.
you.
No,
Yeah,
but
literally.
mistakes are like gold. We'll make bigger ones tomorrow.
Yeah.
End of story.
True.
So you say you also have a thing with aliens?
Look, man, I would say a more accurate way of explaining it is I'm completely fascinated with the origins of humans. And unfortunately, in this day and age, that conversation gets blurred so much with, Zachariah Sitchin and the Anunnakis and all these ancient tablets that were found in Babylon talking about a world that we don't really know about, because I guess as Westerners, a large portion of our history is based on biblical sort of narratives.
Yeah.
And so anything outside of the biblical narrative almost gets looked at as heresy rather than informative. And it's a peculiar thing to me. It's like you've got good, useful information that you throw in the drum because it doesn't agree with your current mode of thinking.
Yeah.
And so that human origin story has kind of just led me to be very, very interested in the concept of UFOs or AAVs or whatever they're bloody calling them these days.
Ultraviolet butt probers.
You check, bro. You just don't know these days, bro. I thought it was a hairdryer.
Have you heard of Graham Hancock?
Love Graham Hancock. I've read most of his work.
No?
Yeah.
Now that's apparently there's new information that was shared from a reputable guy because they discard his
Well, they
findings.
consider him a pseudoscientist because he's a journalist by qualification.
Yeah.
But in terms of a research writer, he's probably one of the foremost research writers I would give credit to in our time today. And I mean, dude, he's got geologists like Robert Schock. He's got anthropologists like Robert Bouval, bro. These people have got 97 degrees, never mind one.
Yeah.
He's got people like that buy his work. So when you're sitting with the OGs and the OGs of your rock collection buy Graham Hancock's books,
Yeah.
shh,
Yeah, true.
tell me the
Now,
guy's a
there's
pseudoscientist.
I think in the week or some 2 weeks ago, there was this guy that shared. I don't know what his qualifications, but he's like whatever he says now goes type
Okay.
of type.
Yeah, one of those
and he
guys.
shared and says now humanity is quite older, and he just shared it. He was like, "I told you so."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For years he was like the quack. Yeah, he's that sort of.
I think Graham Hancock has Fingerprints of the Gods came out, right? Where he made quite a few suppositions in that book that have been the main argument point for any of his naysayers. It's
We was wrong basically.
He wrote Fingerprints of the Gods with absolutely perfect research. He just elaborated a little bit in areas where he shouldn't have. Perhaps this could have been what happened, and then he says a paragraph. They take out the perhaps this could have been what happened part, and they take the paragraph and say, you see, he says we came from aliens. It's like, well, if you read the page before that, he's saying perhaps in a scenario like this, one should take seriously the notion that we could have come from aliens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in terms of a guy that spent his hard-earned money traveling around the world, diving the sites, digging the holes, going to the places, actually putting in the paying your dues process, so to speak. His agenda is literally just that he wants to say, guys, we've been reading the wrong books.
Yeah.
That's kind of his agenda. He's not trying to actually tell you, this is where we came from. This is what happened. He just says, this is what Western history has taught us to date. These are the areas I believe that there's a little bit of, you know, grayness. And perhaps read this and see if it doesn't fill in some of those gaps.
Like, what did you just mention how it could have come from aliens or whatever? There's a term called panspermia.
Panspermia, yeah.
Panspermia,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of those. There's no proof of it, but how are you going to get proof of it, really?
Sure.
But it's if you think about it, it's not that far fetched. If a meteor comes here, it's been happening for years, millions of years.
Yeah.
So life could have.
Yeah. Look, I think if you just remove any emotional context and you just go completely objective. If you take a picture of the solar system, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, he does, you know, that cosmologist. So he's got this planetarium thing going on in the US where you go and sit in it, and it's got 3D next level screens that take you through this whole planetarium type experience, right? If you watch that video on YouTube, you can put it up whenever you like, you'll see that there is a consistency to how the galaxy expresses itself, how galaxies, the universe, all of these things. When you're looking at bigger pictures of them, there's like a uniformity that starts to come into it.
Yeah.
The solar systems are not all equidistant. There could be 100,000 light years difference in them. But when you're looking at the scale of it, it looks uniform. And so if you took that uniformity and the expression of how minerals and deposits and all these things, there's a level of uniformity to how these things are expressed throughout our planet, throughout the solar system, throughout the universe. How in your fucking right mind can you not believe that there's more expressions of life?
Yeah.
Like, what information do you use to generate that type of thought?
Yeah, because the universe, nowhere in the universe is there only one of
anything.
Thing. There's no one dog, there's no one cat, there's no one earth.
Nothing.
Because also,
So
like,
To me, it's such a, like, somebody will say to me, you know, it's very selfish that you don't believe in God. And I'm like, it's pretty selfish to think that you're the only living intelligent species in the universe. Which one of us is being more selfish here now? I'm open to the fact that there's more of us and that there's something way cooler than what I can even imagine happening. And you're telling me that you've got the whole answer. You figured it all out. And
It's a bit.
and so who's got the arrogance here? Like,
It's
really,
like-
if you just sort of...
I'd like to put this adage in, is like, who determines what is life? What is a...
There's a good question.
Who actually says, like, okay, you must be confined to this kind of bodily structure
Parameters or
in these
whatever.
parameters?
Yes.
We could have existential beings, like living energy. It's like that.
100%.
At the end of the day, we are merely atoms.
But think about this, dude, on that trip, right? I've had this thought that knowledge is an alien. Information is an alien species. And look at how information has propagated itself on this planet in the last 200 years. So, like, if you just look at how novelty increases, how technology spun up, how everything is just getting so much faster, so much quicker, so much more.
In the past 50 years alone.
Look at that, right? If one was to say that there is something that's in an evolutionary process that's coming to life, knowledge and information has literally been using us to catalyze itself and project itself into the future.
So basically, we are the penis and vagina of whatever
Of this
the technology
technological age, you know, something like that. I mean, Joe Rogan's got
Dude,
this
I can see
really...
we're the same. That is because if you check out aliens, they never have penises.
Yes.
So we might have been evolved to that. If you what you say now because of technology type of
or that thing isn't actually. So if you, for argument's sake, had evolved 1 million years past the current human race, at the moment, I don't like getting in my car and going to the shop to buy bread. Why the fuck, if I was 1 million years more advanced than you, would I get in my own spaceship and fly to your planet? Are you nuts? I'm busy, bro. I'm I'm drinking a pina colada on ukulele at 9412.
Yeah.
And I'll send my little drone man, bro. He's going to come hook you up with whatever you need. And like that's why they don't have reproductive organs, because they're little drones. They're just little worker bees that get sent out to go and collect information, drop off emails or whatever the case is.
Does it make sense? Because we have sent probes.
Yeah.
We've got one on we've been on Mars. So why would because we see ourselves intellectual. If they're intellectual, they're obviously going to send the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that makes 100% sense.
And also, if you're that clever, are you really going to send yourself into a highly volatile environment with a bunch of monkeys that can't seem to keep their pants on for 24 hours? They just want to blow shit up the whole time. Are you really going to pull up on them? You're like, hey, guys, bah! Fuck,
That's me dead.
Well,
Well, civilization.
so send a
extinguished.
drone or send.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of interesting chats going on at the moment. This guy Luis Elizondo or whatever, the ATIP guy. So America had this project called ATIP, Aeronautical Threat Identification Program.
Oh, that's with the
And
jets that
this Luis Elizondo guy, he was employed by the Pentagon and he's now gone private. And but, I mean, all these latest little releases of video clips.
Yeah,
You know, the
yeah.
little, what's that thing called?
Tic-tac.
The tic-tac.
one,
Yeah.
Go
So-
fast.
These guys are sitting on information. It's 100% guaranteed. It's not, to me, like, where there's smoke, there's fire. You physically cannot have this story propagating itself for as many years as it has based on a bunch of random idiots that live in Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Come now, please. Then techno music would still be fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it would still be around. Like, no. So to me, there is definitely something there. A guy like Bob Lazar comes out and starts telling his story, you know, and the amount of time, effort, and energy that went into discrediting that man confirms for me that his story is real. Because you aren't going to spend like all that time and effort trying to make his education records disappear, frame his wife for an affair, caused his divorce. Like you've done all of these things to make this man look like an idiot because he's saying stuff you don't like.
And he was saying the element 11 something.
At
B.
element 115.
Is it 115?
Yeah, so they've got a
And-
stabilized form of element 115. We've managed to create it in the Higgs-Boson collider, but it's unstable and it can't.
No, but it's he was talking about the stable one since the
Yes.
80s already.
Already, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And recently they've
like 15 minutes ago, they discovered that it's real.
So
And
it's
he
like-
was already in the
Yeah,
80s saying that the fuel that they run the ship on is made of this element 115. And again, they're like, okay, how the question always gets asked, you know, if we're using fossil fuels now, how long would it have taken us to get to element 115 in terms of a progressive rate of technology increase? But who's to say, and this is what Bob Lazar asked, he's like, how do you know these guys didn't just invent that first? And they were like, this works. Why change it?
And who's to say that they had fossil fuels on their planets?
Exactly. You know, we always narrate everything with this self-inflicted projection. It's like you use all the information that you've got in your head to establish whether or not something is true.
True.
The human nature. I'm not saying you. But
Specifically.
I've always found, dude, like the more you're open, the more you're willing to listen, and the more you're willing to realize that you don't have all the answers, the funner the experience becomes. Because like hoarding facts is not really fun. It's like, oh, I've got all the right facts now. If any conversation comes up, I'll win. Who cares?
Well done.
Have a good conversation. Learn something. Let you know, be
have some
vulnerable.
Yeah, look out of the box, really, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
No,
the
there
best
is
things-
no box.
True. Yeah,
exactly.
But some of the best things I've seen happen have been in long form conversations. You see guys like Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson go at each other, right? You're talking about
I
two
saw that
highly
one.
capable, highly intellectual minds, but they find a way to exchange their ideas in an informative fashion. Rather than sit and debate and know up and have a US political campaign debate.
But that only comes with experience, eh? Because I'm going to be honest with you, when I started the podcast, I was very confrontational
Okay.
until I edited the episodes and realized, but I wish I could edit this out, but it's not going to make sense. And then I just realized, oh no, I can actually talk less and just listen more because that's actually better.
True story.
It's a better product and I get to learn more, man. So this experience for me, it's a learning experience, you know what I'm saying? You know? You want to wrap up?
Yeah, man.
Shame, please.
Shame, please.
Small bladder. Product of Anunnaki. Technology gone wrong. You must be able to absorb
It's
this nutrients back into your body. Oh, wait. But yeah, from us, the Babbling Heads, it's been a very informative session. We've gone from here to there and everywhere, as all good explorers should. Yeah, but it's been a blessing having you guys here.
Dude, dope. I knew this would be a podcast. Because, dude, ik het gezet samen om, hoe kan die pingers, dan spraat, dingen was na Nieuwjaar, man. Dan zei hij he had this conversation with somebody and this brass said, I'm giving up this for New Year, and I'm giving up this. And he raised the bra, dude, don't focus on what you're not going to do, man. Focus on what you're going to do. All that other stuff will just fall away, man. Dus ik, Jay's nog wel. Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah.
That was like, Jay's nog wel a deep scale nog al. I thought, nah, dude, having this bra on will have a fucked podcast. You just need to, our job is just to ask him the right questions and I hope he goes there, man. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
The Indian one was fun.
Well, I'd say thank you guys. It's been an honor to be here, and
It's the first of
I have
many.
great respect for yourself, and I'll come to know you two individuals, I'm sure, over the next while. But most gratitude, honestly, man. Thank you.
Salutaties.
It's been dope.
Cool, man. Peace out.
Peace out from the Babbling Heads. This is the Base 187 signing off.
Dj Fingaz. Out.
Charlie Ecstasy. Adostala.
Snap, knapje.
Meu pelazo is dat die. Dat is like, dit is de top, mijn vooruit.